Today we're going to talk about the different types of temporary highs, as I like to call them. Temporary fulfillments. Okay? These earthly temporary fulfillments are from Satan and all evil. These are drugs, alcohol, and random acts of sex. Drugs is a temporary high, so people say. I have no experience whatsoever, which I'm proud of. Alcohol is a temporary high, which I have some minor background in. And random acts of sex are obviously a temporary high, whether you engage in sexual contact by yourself or with someone else. It's all temporary. And here's another kicker, which is pretty crazy. With drugs, after you do them, people's claim, or at least people, homeless people on the streets who are addicted to drugs, who've lost everything in their life because of addiction to drugs, after you do them, you get a low, and you always want to keep getting more and more. You keep getting more and more money and more in debt. Alcohol, after you use alcohol, you get something called a hangover. A hangover is like a headache, puking, vomiting, diarrhea, don't want to get out of bed, sleep all day the next day, feel horrible, dehydration. That doesn't sound like a good aftermath to me after taking part of that. And then the sexual contact. After you reach your climax, don't you feel sort of dirty, used, abused, abandoned? You feel pretty low, don't you? It's all psychological too, a lot, isn't it? And right after that, you're tired and you don't want to do anything. You just want to go to sleep. During the act, it was great, wasn't it? But then after the act, oh, it does end? Sex does end? Oh, so sexual contact in any way does end. So it's not long-term fulfillment. But I'm going to tell you what is. Jesus is a long-term fulfillment in your heart, mind, and soul. And by long-term, that means it never goes away. Once you accept Jesus, whether you like it or not, you can deny him all you want afterwards and not follow anything, not any of the commandments, not anything, and you're still saved. You're still going to want to. You're going to feel hungry to. The Holy Spirit's going to try to wake you up, and that's the thing. People that are engaged in all these temporary earthly fulfillments and activities, they're all spiritually asleep. And you got to be spiritually awoken, spiritually awake. Too many people are spiritually asleep. They're caught in these everyday routines. A routine. Everyday activities, doing the same thing every day. You're like a program. You're programmed. You're slaves to the world. What kind of life is that to live? Working 40 hours a week doing the same thing every day. Eating at the same times. Doing the same things. Doesn't that get old? You're trapped. Right? You're trapped. You're trapped in doing the same routine every day. And that's of the world. There's what greatness is doing the same thing every day. Now, that's called spiritually asleep. Now, to be spiritually awoken, accepting Jesus and accepting the Holy Spirit, you're going to want to stop that routine. You're going to want to get up and do something different. You're like, wow, I got to read the Bible, or wow, I got to witness to others. I got to tell people about Jesus Christ. I got to help save other people through Jesus. Once you're saved, it's like the Matrix. You take the blue pill or the red pill, and the red pill, you wake up and get out of it, or the blue pill, you stay in your same routine. The red pill, you wake up and you understand what's going on. You understand there is a spiritual battle between good and evil, God and Satan, heaven and hell. It's real. There's a real spiritual battle going on out there. And once you're deprogrammed from the world and enter a life of godliness and start walking the path and climbing the ladder to salvation in heaven, you're gonna wanna do a lot more than just your daily routine that you've been doing probably your whole life. And you're going to want to help other people find Jesus, and you're going to want to bring others to Jesus, and you're going to want to bring people to church. You're going to want to show people the passion of the Christ. You're going to want to show people the movie, the play, Heaven's Gates and Hell's Flames. You're going to want people to watch that, and you're going to want to bring other people to where you're at, because it hurts to see other people once you're deplugged and unplugged from the world and seeing everyone else still plugged in. It's sad. It hurts. It hurts your spirit. It hurts your heart. It doesn't crush it. Doesn't scratch it. But it hurts. It gives a poor feeling. And there's no other way to explain it other than that you need Jesus, you need God, you need them in your life. You need them in your life now, because there is an enemy. And he's ready to torment the heck out of you, test the heck out of you, do as much damage to your life as possible. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that you think, oh, I'm not good enough. I've done too much wrong. I'm too evil. And that's Satan. That's Satan telling you that. And there's people out there that say, oh, I'm too good. I'm too good for, Jesus. I don't need Jesus. I do good deeds. I'm telling you what, anybody that's involved in a non-profit organization, a charity, funding the poor, helping out, yeah, you can do all that, but you don't got Jesus, and you just claim that your good works are good enough to get you into heaven? No way. No chance. No chance in hell. Because if you don't have Jesus, that's exactly where you're going to go. And that's not my rules. That's God's rules. That's not my law. That's God's law. And who am I to question that? So, and also, if you think you're good enough to get to heaven without Jesus, who do you think's telling you that? It's not Jesus or God? I'm pretty sure you can assume who that is. It's just so terrible how evil the world is becoming, and people need to be woken up, and you can help that. You can spread the word, spread the gospel. And I got a friend, my best friend Kenny, who's recording right now. He can tell you about it. You want to know about a kid who's beating the hell out of people, a kid who's pounding people into dust, so to speak, a kid who's broken chairs over people and knocked people out unconscious and has gotten knocked out, and you want to talk about drinking alcohol, this in his prime, in his prime, so to speak, during his dark times, no one could outdrink him. I mean he was a beer guzzling, bar fighting son of a gun. And if you don't believe me, in this next video, he'll tell you. So, here's Kenny. He'll tell you about how it is to, how bad people can be, but still can be saved through Jesus.